Okay, so midweek report time. And I want to start off by talking about Anderson versus Miller. Jared Anderson versus Jarrell Miller. This is a potential matchup. And it's a really interesting one because both of them have the same nickname, Big Baby. So it'll be almost like the battle to have the name Big Baby. And also from a stylistic point of view, Jared Anderson is a switch hitter and he can put punches and bunches together. He's athletic. And he was once seen as the heavyweight hopeful for America. Obviously, he then went and lost to Martin Bakole. And so Jared Anderson, people are starting to question him a bit more now. Well, this fight here against Jarrell Miller will answer some more questions. Jarrell Miller is a lot older, but he's very tough. He comes forward and he's got a very good chin. So, and he's got a high work rate, and if you can't keep him off you, you're going to have a very hard night's work. So I think that this is a very interesting stylistic matchup if it happens. I may even sway towards Jarrell Miller in that one. The next thing I want to talk about is Jake Paul versus Julio Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr., I feel like he has more ability than he's ever shown. But at the end of the day, you know, Jake Paul, it was all set up for him to win. He's a lot younger as well. And I think that Julio Chavez Jr., he could have done more. But at the end of the day, what were people really expecting? You know, I think at the end there, he kind of showed what he could do if he wanted to, but it is what it is. You know, Chavez Jr., he's not a top level fighter. Jake Paul beat someone who's not a top level fighter. That's what it is. Jake Paul has his ceiling. It's not a particularly high ceiling, but, you know, he's giving boxing a go. So you got to give him credit for that. But, yeah, Jake Paul did the job. You know, he did the job, faded in the last round, but he did the job overall. And Ramirez versus Dorticus, which happened on the undercard. For me, Ramirez is, you know, he's a very good fighter. I'm not surprised that Dorticus had his success in there. And people are saying, oh, well, now look, that shows you that Jay Opetaia is definitely going to be Ramirez. Not necessarily, because, you know, Ramirez obviously is Dorticus and Opetaia are two different stylistic matchups. I wouldn't even be surprised if Dorticus hit harder than Opetaia. You know, styles make fights, and also Opetaia may be more aggressive, or, you know, he might be faster, and that leads to him getting more knockouts. But I think punch for punch, maybe Dorticus even hits harder than Opetaia. I think that Ramirez versus Opetaia is a very, very interesting matchup. I think it's a very, very interesting matchup. I would favour Opetaia, but we've seen it time and time again where one guy's supposed to win on paper but ends up losing the bout. So we'll see. Anyway, let me know what you think about what I spoke about here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video. If you appreciate my work and want to leave a donation, there's a link for that in the description. And with that, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.